in the digital economy, there's so much markets to be designed. So much ideas from economics are flowing into those markets. Paul, he worked not just with governments around the world, but also with Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, to get these ideas into the market. Paul, we are very proud to have you here, and the floor is yours. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for hosting me, and thank you all for showing up. It's lovely to be here. What I want to talk to you about today is online display advertising. I'm going to talk to you about it partly because traditionally when one has done market design, economists have been very good at paying attention to incentives. Economic researchers look at rules and think, what incentives do they create?
I'm not sure whether everyone is aware of first prize and second prize. That's a big deal in market design. I'm pushing it a little bit, but in the first prize auction, you make your bid, and if you win, you pay your bid. In the second prize auction, you make your bid, and if you win, you pay the second bid. Not the highest, but the second highest.
In fact, the reason for the introduction of the generalized second price auction is not constantly changing my bids, and that stabilized the whole system. So the system went from first price to second price.
And for those who are interested in that field, I think for me at least the most complex auction was designed by you and your team. We all know the spectrum auction in Germany and on the different dimension of spectrum, but in the United States you're bidding on different frequency spectrum, but also in different regions.
That's my pride and joy, the one you're talking about now. This was an auction that we ran that reorganized the television industry. I actually won an Emmy Award for this. And what we wanted to do was buy some of the TV stations' rights from them to take the remaining stations and move them into a smaller set of channels without creating interference. And you have to move them in ways so that you don't create interference. And then you sell the rights to the cleared channels to the wireless data users. We had to run an auction in that setting, and so we had to invent new auction rules and hide all the complexity from the bidders so that it became simple for the bidders to participate. And we accomplished all of that, and it's I consider it my top success actually in auction design, doing that. So.
Some questions or remarks from your side? There's one.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you here. I wondered what's the personally most rewarding aspect of being an economist, especially with your success?
Personally rewarding? Oh, yes. My. That's actually pretty easy. It's none of the stuff we've been talking about. I've been training graduate students and undergraduates as well, but my students that are working with me are having amazing success, and I put a lot of time into that, and there's nothing quite as personally rewarding as watching them. Some of them are starting new companies, some of them are starting research careers. It's phenomenal. That's the most personally rewarding stuff.
If you were speaking to a high school student today, what would be your most compelling argument for them to choose economics as their field of study?
So I do talk to high school students. Once or twice a year, I go give lectures at high schools. I think that's and try to inspire them. We all know that AI is growing in importance. That it would be foolish, no matter what you were planning on studying, not to train yourself in the skills you need to work with artificial intelligence. So I encourage them to be broad, to get a sound foundation in things like mathematics and technical work, and I show them the power of economics to explain and predict the performance of institutions and the behavior of economic agents. And I'm not just a salesman for economics.
Fantastic field, and your talk has given us a very good glimpse into all the thoughts you have to think about in market design, and still a lot of work needs to be done. So thanks for this inspiring talk. Great having you here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Man hatte das Gefühl, man sitzt in einer Stanford-Vorlesung. Ich finde es immer wieder schön zu merken, dass das auch irgendwo Menschen sind. Und zum Beispiel habe ich ihn am Ende noch gefragt, welche Sache ihn gerade so am meisten fasziniert. Und er hat dann auch erzählt, dass er nachts manchmal gar nicht schlafen kann, weil er einfach alles, was er tut, immer so faszinierend findet.